iShowcase Music. I'm Scott Messina, and I'm here with a very special guest, my longtime buddy and one of the best bass players in all creation, my man, Rohan Reid.
What's up, Scott?
My dude. It's my guy. I'm so glad to get you here.
Man, always a pleasure, man. It's been way too long.
Bro, so we were sitting out the other day at a place called Jazz Plus here in Orlando, and I'm like, man, that bass player, man. I'm like, there's not too many people that have riffs like that. I'm like, so I walked in there. I hadn't seen you for a minute.
Yeah.
It was you up there doing your thing. Yeah, they sounded good.
Yeah, thank you.
It was nice, man, because jazz is kind of lost, in a sense.
Yeah,
you know,
it's making a slight comeback. Only the smooth jazz part, though, not the part that I really like to do, the fusion and but smooth jazz part is making a comeback a little bit, especially in Orlando. We got some clubs popping up.
Where else are you finding it?
Well, Jazz Tastings has been doing a great job over the years, and that's where I play with my band a lot. So they've been the one that's been consistently pushing the local acts and local jazz acts, which is very good.
That fusion's insane. I mean, I think it's some of the most complicated progressions, complicated chords, complicated soloing, and it's, everybody wants to hear that 1-4-5 or that, just that 4/4.
Yeah.
And you guys are getting into some time signatures that are just. What's the hardest time signature you've ever played that you can think of?
13 goes switch from 7 to 6.
The hell you just said? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Theory 13 switch to 7 to 6.
Yeah, from going from 7 to 6, 7 to 6. Yeah, it's fun.
Dang, man.
It's fun, but it's not for the weak of heart.
How would you ever do that? Like, seriously, how would you ever do that with a metronome?
You can set a metronome to that. I think especially with the computer age, yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. With Pro Tools, you can do all that tricks. You can go from 7 to 6, 7 to 6. Yeah, you can do it though. You have all type of time signature now. You can.
But now you, with the way you play, you can actually take your bass and turn it into a violin, turn it into a flute. You can play every instrument just like I can as a keyboardist. MIDI's just crazy.
Yeah. MIDI. Yeah, actually, I have a MIDI bass.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a MIDI bass. I've not used it on a show yet, but yeah, Bill Reid actually made that bass for me from Lyrical Lumber. He died a few years ago of cancer. He made that bass for me. I love it. But I have not used it on a show yet.
Dude, we have to give everybody. We got to give everybody preface of. So you moved here. You're from Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes.
And then I started reading up, man. I read your bio, and I've known you for 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
Used to be in my bands back in the day when I first moved here, and I'm like, you were a prodigy in Jamaica, man. I didn't realize how big in the Caribbean your name was, your talent was. I didn't know you were like. I always knew you were good. You were always my buddy. But now that I'm starting to dive into it, I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah.
So tell everybody, tell the viewers a little bit about your background.
Yeah, well, actually, my uncle moved in with us when I was a little kid. I was maybe 4. So my dad started teaching him the bass when I was 5. And I tell my dad, I want to play. And my uncle started playing one of the most popular gospel bands in Jamaica. And my dad said, okay, when you reach 6, I'll teach you. On my 6th birthday, my dad taught me the G scale, the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. That's what he said. He didn't call it the major scale. He said, I'm going to teach you Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Mm-hmm. That's what he told me.
There you go.
And he taught me that 3 chords, G, C, and D. And that was it. That's what he thought it was. 2 weeks after that, he came home and heard me playing bass lines off the radio, every bass line off the radio. He's like, no, you're not playing those songs. You come into church to play with me. And I started playing at church at 6. That's where I started, yes. And then I started hanging out with my uncle and my uncle musician friends. And then I became actually popular at 8. I started getting popular in Jamaica because I used to do a street meeting. The pastor Bill decided that he wants some attraction to build his church. So he put me on the streets to play as an 8-year-old with a bass. and I drew a lot of crowd. And he actually built his church population out of using me as a prop.
Wow.
As a bass player.
Is that church still around?
Yeah. It's still around doing well.
You got a lot of family still down there?
His sons are pastors of the church, and we grew up together.
Wow.
We grew up together. I actually started playing in his band. And he and my dad work at the same place, so we were good friends. He died, and my dad died. But
oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But that church is still around.
Losing a parent has to be the worst.
Yeah, it is.
God bless our fathers.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. Then we become the old cats now. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, man. But
and memories there. You smile when you talk about him. You smile when you talk about how you started when you were 6 years old and playing for the church. And just great childhood memories. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I know you progressed. Obviously, came to America.
Yeah.
And I started seeing. I know one of your big. I'm going to jump way ahead. Your biggest tour I know recently was Yandel. Winston and Yandel.
Yeah, Winston and Yandel, right? Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Winston.
Winston. Yeah.
But you knew him. You knew Yandel back before.
So when Yandel and Winston separated, I think it was 2013.
I think it was.
Yeah. A friend of mine, Tito, who is still Yandel's studio engineer, called me to play bass for them. And I was on the road with the original Wailers, and I did accept. And I started playing with them, and I eventually became Yandel musical director. And I played with them for 9 years. When I went back with Winston, I was his bass player. So I did Winston and Yandel for like the last 3 years, and then they were split back up. I decided, I've been touring since I'm 11.
Hopefully you saved some money, because that's a good gig.
Yeah, well, it's the music life is different. So
I know.
It's different, but
I know all too well.
I have the luxury of playing with other people. Like I still play with Wycliffe John when he's not out with Fuji. So and I still do my thing with Original Wailers from time to time if they need me. But I'm having a blast now, producing. Get to play my music with my band as much as I can.
Love that.
And that's really my passion right now, to play what I love, and to play, not just to go on the road and play to earn anymore. Just do stuff that I'm passionate about, and that's where I'm at, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, man. You earned that.
Yeah.
You earned that. You've been playing since you were 6 years old at church. Church wanted you to play this and that.
Yeah.
Then you come in, you go on tour, you tour your whole life.
Yeah, but
I know you were at the theme parks doing your thing there, and all these other bands.
But I tell you this, that was my school, because at 10 I joined this group. My uncle got too busy, so I took his place in a group called the Grace Drillers. And in the Grace Drillers, the lead guitar player might be the most talented guitarist I've ever seen. Just pure talent.
That coming from you.
Yes. And I tell him I want to play bass like how he plays guitar. And nobody knew that I was learning the stuff that he was playing. And so he couldn't make a show. And there's one country and western song that we play that they wouldn't think an 11-year-old kid could play it. And I played it on that show, and the leader was like, actually, he ended up putting me on guitar for 5 years.
Wow.
So, and he was a jazz guitar player. So that was my school.
Being surrounded around.
Yes.
Uber talented.
Yes. And then other people took me under their wings, like Marjorie Wiley. She took me under her wings and said, okay, I'm going to teach you jazz standards. I'm going to, so that church took me to another level outside of the church. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? Because Jamaica is so small that if you're around greatness, they keep pushing you. They're not selfish people. But it's easy to get around greatness because we're so small. You see what I mean? The great guys are touchable. Not like US, the great guy might be in Texas.
Yeah. Bob Marley was relatable to everyone.
Right. Exactly.
What is he? He's 19%. His royalties and what he donated before he passed, he's still 19% of the Jamaican
Yes.
Jamaican economy.
And still outselling every other reggae artist.
His sons, oh man, his grandson.
Skip?
Yeah. What's that song? I don't want to sabotage the title of the song. But
let me love you. Da, 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 da. Slow down. That's him or that's the other one? Yeah, I think that's him.
I'm thinking of Lauryn Hill's son.
That's Lauryn Hill's son, yeah.
Lauryn Hill's son.
Slow down. Da, 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 da. I think he sang that one.
Oh my goodness, man. He's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it, and then one of the other kids, man. I mean, you got Ziggy still doing his thing.
Yeah, Junior
Gong.
Junior Gong is still doing his thing. Steven is still doing his thing.
You make me laugh, man. I remember I remember how mad, and I know you love the instrument, the guitar, so let me preface it. But you used to get so mad when I begged you to play guitar because we had no guitar. But guitar player would always call in or whatever.
But funny enough,
you killed it.
No, the thing is, I used to hate playing guitar.
This was early 2000. This was 2001.
Yeah, I used to hate playing guitar.
I know, you told me. That's what I'm laughing about.
Yeah, but the older I got, and I think what happened, I started playing with some real good bass players, so I felt comfortable playing guitar. I used to hate playing guitar a lot of times because a lot of times I play guitar is the bass players sometimes weren't, but
So you're sitting there playing guitar, which you're phenomenal at.
Right.
And then you're hearing the bass player and you're being overcritical. That's like me. That's how I would be with the keyboard player.
First that's the instrument.
The bass player's not in the pocket.
Yeah, first instrument. That's the instrument I'm passionate about.
That's the one you're best at.
Right. I'm passionate about it.
Right.
So that's the instrument I want to play. So first, I have a friend who is the same like me. Rohan, he's the same like me. He's a killer guitar player. But he's so passionate about the bass, and I think that was me. But the older I got is the more I got comfortable and kind of love playing the guitar. I don't mind playing guitar now.
Was upright bass, actually.
Yeah?
3rd grade, man. My dad had to build me a box this big because my short ass wasn't tall enough. I had one of the little 3/4.
Yeah.
And I played, that was my first. I couldn't play it now.
Yeah.
I couldn't play it now.
That's a different instrument too. I love it though.
I've heard you play upright.
Yeah, I've played upright.
That's a rarity. Yeah, if you ever see or can find any video of Rohan playing upright bass, send it to me.
Yeah, I think the only person I actually played I think I did a gig with Sonny Paxson on upright. Maybe I've done baby bass with Joseph
the jazz club back in the day.
Giovanni, I did. Yeah, I think I did something back jazz club back in the day. Joseph Giovanni, I played the baby upright with him a couple times.
Those electrical uprights are pretty long. Yeah. It's just a different. It is completely. You're absolutely right. Yeah. It's a completely different instrument.
No, the upright is a different instrument.
one of my favorite upright players, and I know you know him, Bobby Brennan.
Bobby Brennan. Oh yeah.
Give me a shout out, Bobby. I'm gonna give you a shout out.
Killer.
Talking about, oh my gosh, man. He's been on the road with Cirque.
Him and Eddie Wawa.
He's been on the road with Cirque. Yeah. I'm like, dude, are you ever just gonna take a breath? And he's like, he loves what he does. And he's just upright every night. Upright. He's the best, one of the best I've ever.
No, he's beast.
You're the best electric bass player I've ever used or known. Yeah. Guitar players, man, you would think, like, especially because I relaunched iShowcase music out of Nashville, and so I got a lot of musicians up there that are really just loving what we got going on, and man, everybody plays guitar, and they're good. Yeah, they're really good up there. Them boys play it up there, man.
And tone, everything, tone, execution, everything about their beast.
Oh, they are just, and they'll. I was telling somebody else, they'll come off tour, and they'll just play. Hank Williams Jr. bar for tips just to keep the chops up, and you just sitting there like, it's surreal. Yeah, it's unbelievable how I wish Orlando had more of that culture that Nashville has, and I think that's why I'm gravitating so much to Nashville because the music scene up there is just it's exciting.
Yeah, but that's their culture. We have serious talent now, not as much guitar players as like Nashville, but we have some serious talented guys here. But the culture is different. But the culture is not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. Like Nashville and Memphis. Like Memphis, I'm walking on the street of Memphis. I've seen this drunken guy with an old beat up amp, but everything sound amazing. Like it's just the
Old
culture.
school Elvis wave. Yeah.
Just
but like here, as a working musician, I think with the conventions and with the theme parks, you can make more money. You can make it more stable. But in Nashville, obviously, you make more money if you're a songwriter or have a hit song or whatever. You don't necessarily make money the same way up there, or you can't make anywhere near as much, I don't think, the same way gigging like you can down here, because there's so many gigs for live musicians and for DJs, for every instrument. I mean, the caliber of instruments, the caliber of instrumentalists in Orlando, I'll put up against anywhere. I'll put them against LA and New York. I mean, because they're vetted. Between Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld, and just they're vetted. And you got the Rohan Reid, you got the Christoph Sabrikowskis.
Oh, Christoph, man, he's crazy.
Come on, man. I won't even play. You heard me playing earlier. I won't even play in front of him. And he loves how I play, and I'm like, nope. I'm like, I'm not stupid, man. I'm like, but I think. And you brought this from Jamaica. Sometimes, he's from Poland. And some musicians are so technically advanced, and he's so good. He's gotten so much better with getting in the pocket and that American sugar. You know what I'm saying? Which, or I actually call it Jamaican sugar, man, because y'all are grooving down there. But there's a vibe.
There's a vibe.
There's a vibe to America, whether it's country music, whether it's reggae, whether it's your fusion jazz. That fusion jazz, man, that's. Which, when we come back, we're going to talk about these albums right here. We're going to talk about both of them. You got something brand new. This is the brand new one. Right. We're going to talk
Morning
about
Kisses,
it. I know you're excited about it. So we'll be right back. All right. My
awesome.
man. Great job. So, you found that time signature from the last segment.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Show me.
With these, you can.
Take everybody to school, Rohan Reid style.
No, with these you can pull up any time signature and practice with it. So, where was it?
So you were saying 7/6?
Well, this is just 13. So what I'm saying, with 13, you can divide it into 7 and 6. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. Right?
So how would the bass line sound on top of that?
Okay. Doom, 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 doom. It's so that you divide that 7 and the 6. Or some people do 3, 3, 3, and then 4. So it's just about subdivisions, and drummers are amazing at it. Drummers are so amazing at
you got your bass in your car.
Yeah, it's in my car somewhere.
Come on, man. Wants Rohan to get this bass out of his car, man. I was only going to ask you to solo, but now we have to talk about this brand new album.
Yeah,
I just heard the title track, which is Morning Kisses right here. Boom. As you can see behind me, Morning Kisses. How did you get that title, man?
So, while I was creating my album, there are a few people that I go to on almost every album for songs to write to. And normally, I'll get a track and write. I don't like nobody writing melodies for me. I write my own melody. So I went to David Grant and Derek Harving, and they sent me a track, and he sent a melody, And normally they know that I don't like to write to nobody melody. I just like to, but the melody I sang was banging. It was banging. So all I basically had to write is the bridge and another section on it. And I listened to the track. Yeah, this track give me a little early morning, waking up, hugging your girl in the sunset on the balcony, that type of vibe, you know. So I just named the song "Morning Kisses."
So you got to explain to the viewers and listeners that when you say melody, man, you're playing your bass.
Is playing the melody.
Is playing the melody. Yeah. You are the lead singer.
Yes, I'm.
And
the
you
singer.
ain't even singing.
Yeah.
Or are you singing on this? Singing vocally, or
no? This
your
song
bass
is
is
just
the voice.
the bass
it's like a sax player.
The bass is singing. Yeah,
it's like Kenny G or somebody playing. Nothing like Kenny G. I didn't mean to. No, I like Kenny G.
Listen.
But what I'm saying is,
I don't bash Kenny, bro. I never.
My man did what he did.
Yeah, never.
He did what he did, and I think he did so much for instrumentalists and solo artists such as yourself.
Yeah.
So when the viewers go and check this out, man, you would never think how cool. I mean, I just heard one track, man. I can't. Melodic Groove, Gracious, Morning Kisses, track 3. That's what the name of the album is.
Melodic Groove is something. That's one of my favorite tracks on it. It's very.
Hold on, I'm going to go down all of them. Number 4 is Closer. Florida Sunrise.
And Closer had some guys from Nashville doing live strings on that.
Did you record it up there?
Yeah, the strings was recording.
Man, their studios. Oh my goodness. They can record. Man, they're just set up. They were just perfectly set up for everything. So Nashville okay, cool. So Nashville, check out track 4, Closer. Florida Sunrise.
Yeah, yes.
Musty.
That's your boy Jesse playing drums on Florida Sunrise.
Jesse Carvalho. See, we should have like alcohol, and every time we get somebody a shout out, we just do a shot, man. Jesse Carvalho, man, that's Mark Anthony's guy, man. One of the best percussionists, drummers I've ever had the honor to work with. You put me on the phone with him when I saw you the other day, and man, I miss that dude. He's just such a nice guy.
Very, very
I
nice.
love seeing good things to happen to good people. Jesse Carvalho. Spell his last name?
Carvalho.
It's Caraballo.
Yeah, Carabello. Carabello.
Man.
Carballo, Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, but I should probably know that, right?
Yeah.
Muse.
Yeah, so Muse is now a fusion, fretless. I play that song with, using a fretless.
That's really a different vibe because obviously you no pun intended, but you don't get any fret noise.
Right.
It's your string. It's your string slide. Your string noise.
Yeah.
But I mean that can be cleaned up so easily in post.
Yeah.
Got to get through it.
Yeah, gotta get. That's a vocal song. So that's featuring Rod Wilson on vocals. That's one of my longtime friends too. Like he does writing on almost every project I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
Booster.
Yeah. So Booster is definitely a smooth jazz song. It was a nice little filler.
And Whitehall Jam.
Oh, that's fusion, but that's dancehall fused with smooth jazz. So that's a dancehall rhythm and killer horns section done by Kyle Schroeder and a killer from Tampa, like Beast. He's Beast.
Dude, I can't wait to hear this album.
And me doing some bass work and from piccolo to slap bass, I think, on that one.
So how in a paragraph or so, how would you perfectly describe what this album is collectively?
Well, this album is, I'd say, is very melodic, rhythmic but very melodic, and sophisticated melodies.
I'd expect nothing less.
Which
who you are.
Which is an issue for smooth jazz radio. They like it on this simpler side, but
You know what it's not an issue for?
Yeah.
iShowcase music.
No.
And you know what it's not an issue for?
Yeah.
Streaming.
Right.
Spotify.
Right.
Because it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
You got it everywhere now, right? Everywhere you can
it's
find
everywhere.
music.
It's everywhere.
So it's I think that people who don't think outside of the box and don't think of, broaden their horizons. Yeah. That's their loss.
And the thing is, I always want to show what I'm about, and it's me. I come from so many different places because of my training. Mm-hmm. Moving to the U.S., I was playing in an African band. I was playing in an American band. So I learned so much over the years. So my knowledge is wide, rhythmically and melodically. So I always, it's not something I forced to show. It's a part of me now.
It's who you are.
Yeah.
I've said that.
Yeah. So
it's who you are. Yeah. I mean, you're one of the most, just like, you're one of the most complex players, but you do it effortlessly. Think about that. I mean, because there's a lot of people that'll sound good on a CD.
Yeah.
But you get them as a studio musician, they're not as precise. They're great on stage, sound great, but when you get them in the studio, you're just as good on both.
Yeah. Well,
and that's a rarity.
Thank you. And I think because where I'm from, I'm a bass player first. And because you have bass players that are lead bass players only. Mm-hmm. Because of my upbringing first, jazz wasn't my first thing. My first thing was gospel and reggae. Mm-hmm. So that taught me the discipline to when you go in the studio, it's a different type of concept you have from when you're out there playing a jazz fusion. When you see me with the original Wailers, you're going to see a different person. When you see me with Winston and Yandel, you're going to see a different person. But when you see me playing fusion, you might be surprised because I can actually go.
You adapt to who's paying you. You adapt to whose stage you're on, and you respect that. However, when it comes to your stuff, man, that's amen.
But the funny thing is,
that's what's up.
The less notes you play, the more money you make.
Say it again?
The less notes you play, the more money you make.
Oh my God.
Think about it.
No, I got the
Who
best
pays
story.
more than country and western? Who pays better than country western? No. Nobody. But that check look good.
I got the best story. I hope I didn't tell this on another episode. I might have. Bro, so we'll just call him Ben. I was brought up, one of my first artists was that I worked with was Genuine.
Yeah.
But Ben used to be James Brown, one of James Brown's guitarists and music directors. It was between him and another guy to get that job. And the one dude went in there. This is going to come full circle to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
The one dude goes in there and just shreds, bro. Right? And this Ben goes in there and just in the pocket. Who do you think got the job?
Definitely the guy in the pocket.
In the pocket.
Yeah.
A team player.
Yeah, a team player.
Now,
yeah.
I don't know if James paid him, but I know he was with him for a while and for a long time. And I always learned that lesson from him telling me that story, that less is more. They do it even I'm not talking about when you're soloing and
right.
I'm not talking about, you know what, and I'm going to go squirrel on you. I'm talking about in general, less is more.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to the 32 measure solos, man. The old, think about, let's go squirrel and think rock right now.
Yeah.
The old, how Led Zeppelin used to just have those 32 minute rock solos. Just, Bob used to throw some into, if you listen to some of his obscure stuff, not the stuff on the Legends, the best of, that went commercial, man, there was always this room for the instrumentation to breathe.
Right.
I would love for musicians to get back to that, and for recordings to get back to that.
Yeah.
And I think your album, we haven't even talked about your album before this one, because this was the newest hot off the press one, right? But I think, you could be leading the path for that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's definitely where it should, Derek, we speak about this all the time. Like, we need to get back in the days, to the days when we just go in the studio and we just create on spot. Like 4 or 5 guys. That's how Bob Marley did it.
No, that's how it was in the 70s.
Yeah,
even at the piano I was telling you about, in that old studio. You and down in Hit Factory in Miami and what's the other big one with the Bee Gees and the Eagles and all of them, Criteria.
Yeah.
So what they would do, and I'm talking rock again. I don't know a lot about rock, but I just know these stories.
Yeah.
You would have the Scorpions. You would have Rat. You would have Quiet Riot. You right? And they'd all be in their own studios.
Right.
And they're doing exactly what you're talking about. They're just on the fly, doing their thing. But then they all come to eat lunch together.
Yeah.
And then everybody is sharing ideas of what they're working on with each other.
Well,
then they go back and boom. There was no, give me my cut. Give me, And see, that's the beauty. Nashville has that camaraderie where, they have songwriting pools and everybody gets their percentage of whatever they wrote and brought to the table. And they have it figured out, I think, for the most part that I've collected. But you don't have that camaraderie, especially with home studios.
Right.
When I'm in my home studio, I'll always have a home studio because I like working till 4 or 5 in the morning, rolling into bed, waking up, the convenience of it.
Right.
But I get the big studio when I need the big studio. The camaraderie of what you're talking about would be amazing if you could get that back.
Yep.
But man, are a lot of young people even learning how to play instruments?
Yeah.
I know the Grammys working on trying to get a lot of young people to play instruments and everything, but I mean, what do you think?
Well, it's here. I don't see in Orlando, I can tell you what's happening in Orlando. The young people are digging in, and coming and really good too, getting really good.
Maybe that was a COVID thing. Maybe that was a post-COVID.
It was slightly post-COVID, but I think between Orlando and Tampa, there's so much wealth of talent and interest. But that wasn't always the case. I think it's getting back there. I know in Jamaica it's like that. It's like that. Jamaica is too much.
Playing down there.
Yeah, and it's weird because they don't have enough outlet for them.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have enough outlet for them. I see that happening here now, but the camaraderie not there.
What about Puerto Rico?
I don't see a lot of young guys in Puerto Rico. My experience when I went to Puerto Rico is the older guys, a few young ones, but not like what I see happening in Orlando. And
look at Atlanta. Yeah. Man. Look at ATL.
Yes.
Just exploded.
Yes.
I mean, from Orlando right to ATL, right to Nashville and Memphis.
Atlanta is.
I mean, that's your path now. It used to be.
Yeah.
And I haven't really heard. I haven't heard anybody come out of New York City since Lady Gaga. I don't know what's going on with New York City.
Yeah.
L.A. They've had their own battles and everything, but wonderful musicians out there. You got Berkeley out there. You got.
And a lot of people move to LA too because that's a place to be if you want to be on tours and you want to be,
It's a great lifestyle until it's not.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes, perfect way to put it.
I'm going to repeat that.
But you know what? You know where is putting on musicians like ridiculously?
Where?
Brazil.
Oh
my God.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
Oh my goodness. Brazil, I would think Colombia, Argentina, all those.
Yeah, but what I think helped is what we didn't have. We didn't have social media the way these guys have it.
Right.
They can go on YouTube. They can go anywhere and just learn.
They can learn paths.
Yes.
And then they have the graphics to go with the scales.
Right.
To go with the.
They can slow down things.
Their theory.
They can learn everything from theory to practical right sitting in the living room.
So how do you think, this is a great question, and I think you're one of the first ones I've asked, because I have a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory, but how do you think AI is going to play, and what kind of adaptation do you think we as musicians are going to have to take with AI?
I hope it doesn't make us lazy.
Man, there is.
I hope AI doesn't make us lazy.
It already. I mean, but then define AI. Like when I told the story previously. When I was up for Grammy consideration, I had to sign an affidavit saying I didn't use AI. But then, define AI.
Right.
Auto-tune is a form of AI.
That's a form, yeah.
I mean, auto-tune.
Yeah.
It's just coming up that little, you need to bend it just a little bit to get to that perfect note.
Yes, but AI is so crazy now. I can take your voice.
Yeah, I tried it.
And get all the riffs that Beyonce does. It's just like
I tried that with my voice. It was horrible. It was horrible, bro. But no. I don't know what it's called, man. I don't even want to give him a shout out, but I think it's like Sonu, SONU or something like that. Yeah. You literally type in, all right, I want a woman who sounds like Aretha Franklin, but I want the drums and the rhythm section to sound like something Ray Charles would perform in 1968. And I want to bang it in 4/4, then break it into 2/4, then back to 4/4, refrain, take it out, with a gospel background.
Wow.
Within 30 to 45 seconds, this entire masterpiece is completely produced.
That's crazy.
That is bothersome. It bothered me, man. I'm like, I spent my whole life learning what I do. It's so it's a step above being lazy. But they have put laws into effect to where it's very difficult, if not possible. You can't really copyright AI.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it is right now. Right now. But it's getting so good. It's not as good, but it's getting so good now. You're never gonna. How would you ever know the difference? Okay. Then you have to sign an affidavit. If you're lying, you're lying, right?
Right.
But man, when I heard that, and then I want a country song, and whatever, 3-4 time making a waltz, Johnny Cash style, and they got a vocalist that sounds just like Johnny Cash that comes in, and then I got some friends, I'm not gonna mention their names. They've taken Justin Bieber, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift and made them those three voices. They've taken them and made them their background vocals. Blended together, you can never tell.
Wow, that's crazy.
You can never tell that those three superstars are part of that background vocal, right? And it's completely legal. You're not doing anything. You pay for this service, and it's completely legal. I hope the artists are getting paid. I mean, that's very important to me.
Right.
But man, it's getting crazy. I just don't know. I don't know how it's gonna. You're gonna have to adapt. It's just like you had to adapt from this to MP3s to blah 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 to Napster. Changed the whole world.
Right.
And we're almost at about that time again. But you know what? Here's where we win. AI can never perform it.
Right.
AI can never perform it.
Yep.
AI, they'll have that sugar, but it'll be an augmented, it'll be an electronic, fake type of feel, and they can't perform it.
Right. Man, it's crazy.
Did I just depress you?
No.
You look like you're ready to cry, man.
But I get it. It's crazy.
It's frustrating, but technology is just getting too. I'm not even excited about that portion of it.
Right.
Because
we study our whole life, and a guy can just talk to his phone and get it.
I mean, yeah. Think about how many basses are sampled. Now, I could never. I mean, dude, it would take me. I just could never play keyboard bass.
Right.
The way you play a bass.
Right.
So what I'll do, and you've worked on my projects, you know.
Yeah.
I'll go in there and demo. Hey man, this is what and then I let you do your thing.
Right.
You hire a bartender, you let them bartend.
Yeah.
Right. But then I can take your bass sound when you give me those tracks, and I can augment the sound of that if I want to make it whatever I want to make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as EQing, sounding, and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But violins, I mean orchestras, horn sections. They're coming close on the samples.
Yeah,
we felt that way when the samples started.
Yeah, the sample's coming close, but still, certain riffs, certain things with a horn, it's you'd have to sample the whole phrase to get it. You know, it's still not quite there.
Sampling.
Yeah.
The keyboard behind you. We were just talking about the Triton Pro X.
Yeah.
So what is that? 20-year-old. That's at least 25-year-old keyboard now.
Yeah.
20-year-old keyboard.
Yeah.
So those samples on that are like 530 kilobytes.
Wow.
My samples now with Native Instruments 14. Shout out to Native Instruments. What you think?
Maybe twice or three times now?
I'll get a 5
5
gig.
times?
5 gig.
5 gig?
3 gig.
Wow.
It'll take a second for it to load up. Most of them are around 1 or 2.
Right.
But some of these samples with these orchestras, man, they're just so involved.
Right.
And then you can go into them and like the woodwind instruments, you can. How much breath do you
Yeah,
want? How much humanizing do you want? How much? Now is that AI?
So one of my songs, right?
Which one?
It was on this. It was a single.
This one?
No, it wasn't. It's not on none of these. But when Derek sent me back the keyboards, you can actually hear the
pedal on the piano.
Yeah. It's like you hear the pedal press.
The resonate. Like, you have a resonate button on the pedal.
I'm just like, what?
Whether it's a grand piano, an upright, the Gentleman, beautiful piano. They got Alicia Keys has her own sound on Native Instruments, man, and it's really nice, smooth.
I use that one.
But then they take it to another level, and Chick Corea. I mean, they'll do riffs. Mm. So you don't even have to play the piano. You press one button.
Yeah.
It works good on some of my guitar background, starlight sound effects I want to do. All right. Yeah. So how much have you gotten into Atmos? Dolby Atmos.
I use that every now and then at a friend's studio, but I don't use it.
Are there any tracks on this that you would want to do Atmos on? Think about that.
I have to think about it.
Alicia Keys actually I think was the first album to actually do that. Yeah. But went to a friend's studio down in Nashville.
I thought you were talking about Atmosphere.
I'm talking about Dolby Atmos. The way you mix.
You mix. Oh no, never.
I'm talking about like a 12.2, 10.1. I mean, it's insane.
Well, I got to check.
You got stuff coming out of
surround.
Oh my, no, dude, it's beyond surround. I mean, I can do 7.1, 7.2 in my studio, but I'm talking now. You're talking 16.
Wow.
I'll give her a shout out. My friend Justine Blazer. Well, Eric Schilling, who's my mentor, that's my dude. He's been taking his gig and just mixing Atmos everywhere. He'll go there to them,
right?
Bring his computer and what he needs, and just. But my friend Justine Blazer in Nashville has an Atmos studio. She got it right, man. I stood there, and I was just like, "You're hearing things," and I'm like, "Okay, so you think about not this, but you think about a compressed MP3 versus this Dolby Atmos, man, where you got 16 different things coming at you. It is really an experience. It's a audible experience. I'm telling you, man. So what I'm saying is, when you get the chance to really get into a studio, that's properly. I mean, the speakers, from what I've learned, are to the millimeter, have to be positioned to the millimeter of where they go. But when you get to that experience, you're going to say, "Oh yeah," because all you got to do is take one of your stereo tracks and then all of a sudden add to it the Atmos stuff.
Right.
It's not reinventing the wheel; it's just adding to it and making it fatter.
Yeah, right.
But there seems to be a market for it, or else how come it would be as big as it's becoming?
Right.
It's so new, though.
Yeah, it's brand new.
All right, so 2 albums. Morning Kisses. Watch Me Now.
Yeah.
What about this one? What's the difference between the two?
The difference between the two is, I'd say, Watch Me Now might be a more versatile blend from R&B, reggae, smooth jazz, fusion, where this is more and funk, where this is more a touch of smooth jazz and between smooth jazz fusion.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time, bro.
And not crazy jazz fusion. Just
don't scare people off. But make it crazy. I know. I already heard one of the songs. There's a little crazy jazz fusion in there.
A little
That's
crazy.
not going to scare people off because if the jazz radio stations, which are far and few between, aren't going to play it, isn't there a jazz fusion station on XM, Sirius XM?
Yeah.
See, that's where we need to push this.
Yeah. So, like I learned from a big mentor of mine, Najee, because he's a jazzer.
Yeah.
But he's big in smooth jazz. He's big in smooth jazz. So the thing is, I always have a radio single from each album that I can play in smooth jazz.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to be, actually I've been getting played on XM. Shout out to XM. They have done me well over the years since 2007, since my first project. I'm fortunate to be on their show still.
Oh, that's awesome.
Over the years.
So you already got the in.
Yeah, it's still a tough job because it's so saturated. It's saturated now.
So saturated.
Yeah, it's so saturated. Smooth jazz is so saturated now.
I got some tracks on Muzak.
Yeah.
Remember Muzak?
Yeah.
Somebody said they heard one of my tracks coming down an escalator in a Sheraton in Germany. One of my solo piano tracks. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I wish you the best on these albums for real. And
thank you, man.
Can't wait to hear it. And I'll have you back, man. Love to have you back.
Yes, for sure. And go and stream, but download. Download is very important to us.
You got a plug, man? I heard you want to plug something.
I got a plug. So we're doing the Wayman Tisdale tribute show, July 27th.
William Tisdale?
Wayman
Tisdale.
You know Wayman Tisdale?
I know.
He's an ex-basketball player.
Yeah.
Who became the #1 selling smooth jazz bass player.
I didn't know. No, I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He died. I think he had leukemia or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
So we're doing a tribute show, and it's featuring the amazing Levon Rushing on bass and myself on bass. We have 2 bass players, and we're gonna have fun that night. So
that's awesome.